Hi Barty friends, my name is Mark. I'm the Director of Operations with Barty, and I'm here with Dana, our Director at Thurgood Marshall. We know that many of you have a need for care right now, and we're happy that we're going to be able to reopen our program at Thurgood Marshall Early Childhood to hopefully help address some of those needs. But we also know that a number of you have questions, and Miss Dana and I are here to hopefully answer some of those. Dana, what are you looking forward to most?
I am looking forward to seeing all of our friends and their faces and their smiles and getting back together with everyone again.
All right, well, let's get into some of this information about how things are going to be different. We've made a number of changes, all with safety in mind. And Dana, let's talk about the structure of the day, because it's going to be different from schedule to classes to things like that. So what's it going to look like?
Yes. So first of all, our day is going to be a little bit different. Our times are different. We're going to be open from 7:30 to 4:30. We have to keep in mind the safety of our children and our teachers, so we won't be able to mix groups. So we won't be able to offer before and after care, because that's the way our traditional morning and afternoons would go, but we can't do that at this point. So the hours will be 7:30 to 4:30. The class sizes are going to be smaller, again with the children and the teacher safety in mind. We will have cohorts within those class sizes, so the students will be in smaller groups that they'll stay together the whole day. They'll do everything together, they'll eat lunch together, they'll stay in those little tiny groups to minimize mixing of teachers and children.
So safety and health of our kids begins at home. We're going to ask your help before we get back to Barty. If you're interested in enrolling, once you register, we're going to ask that you begin to monitor your child's health for up to 14 days leading up to the start of Barty. We'll have you record daily temperatures, as well as take a look to see if your child's exhibiting any symptoms that may be related to COVID-19. When school starts, this is something we're going to do on a daily basis. Before your child's allowed to enter the classroom, we're going to record their temperature, as well as interview you as a parent guardian and ask about any potential symptoms, as well as anybody that you or other household members may have been around in the last 24 hours. All of this with the goal of doing everything we can to minimize the spread at Barty. In addition to the screening that we're doing with our kids, we've also got screening measures in place for our staff. Dana's going to be working with staff for the 2 weeks that lead up to the start of Barty, monitoring temperatures as well as symptoms, and then on a daily basis as well. She's going to greet all the staff before they enter the classrooms, take temperatures, and interview them a bit to make sure that they're not exhibiting any symptoms and that they haven't been around anyone that may be positive or potentially positive for COVID-19. In addition to that, we've got measures in place to quickly quarantine either staff or children that may begin to exhibit symptoms throughout the day. So Dana, I think we all recognize that physical distancing is going to look different in an early childhood environment. Can you tell us a little bit about what may look like in each of the classes?
Yes, so in each classroom, it's going to be slightly different based upon the age of the children. But in the larger classrooms with the older kids, we'll be able to have them go to centers in their little cohorts. They'll rotate independently in those cohorts around each center. Cots and cribs will be physically distanced as much as we possibly can. They'll sit with their cohort at lunch tables. Those lunch tables will be physically distanced from each other. So yes, we're putting in place a lot of things so that we can keep in mind that physical distance.
A lot of the experts agree that this is a challenge at this age, and they encourage other things like hand washing, getting outside when we can, and extra cleaning, which are all things that we've got in place for the fall at Thurgood. One of the conversations that's surely going to be ongoing as we get kids back into a school environment is the use of masks. Right now, the guidelines tell us that kids age 2 and younger should not be wearing masks. What that does is open the door for our 3s and 4s. And parents, what we'll ask you to do is get your child used to wearing a mask for short periods at home. Help them learn how to put it on properly and take it off as well. We're going to be exploring different strategies for masks, but a foundational idea is that masks will be in use whenever it is safe and practical to do so with our 3s and 4s, and at all times when physical distancing within this age group is not practical or not possible. Now, as for our staff, a little different story, right, Dana?
Yes, Mark. We are going to require our staff to wear masks at all times when it is safe and practical. and certainly when we are in close proximity to your children.
So we've talked about a cohort model that'll help minimize the mixing of our teachers and children, but we've got some other things in place as well to help ensure safety of everyone.
Yeah, so Mark, we're definitely going to be working on hand washing. We're going to be increasing the hand washing in the classrooms. We're going to be getting outside as much as possible, taking the classroom inside to outside. And also we are going to be preparing individual school boxes so that the children are not sharing the supplies, and doing the same with the block area and the small manipulatives that we use.
Perfect. And parents, one of the things that you can do to help, if hand washing by your child is something that they're developmentally ready to do, if you could practice that at home so they're ready and they have those good habits coming into Barty, that would help. Our policies and procedures have been guided by the CDC. Barty opened camp several weeks ago, and the American Camp Association partnered with a community health consulting firm to interpret the CDC guidelines. We've been able to put that into practice at the Ranch, Mountainside, and Poolsville summer camps, and those policies are now ready to transfer over to Thurgood Marshall. We're also going to be partnering with MCPS, whose building service has been working for the last several months to form new policies and cleaning guidelines for the school environment. We've purchased additional cleaning equipment that'll be in use to help us clean and disinfect all of the surfaces in the classroom. In addition to that, Dana, what do we have inside each of the rooms?
Mark, inside each classroom, we will have soiled bins so that if toys happen to go into mouths, they'll go into a bin and they'll be cleaned after that. We also have toys that are going to be circulated daily and changed every other day so that we are not using the same toys each and every day. We will also be disinfecting the classrooms at the end of every day and a major disinfectant at the end of every week.
Dana and I recognize that this is a very personal decision as to whether or not to send your child back to care at this time. The situation will continue to evolve, as will we.
And thank you so much, parents and families, for entrusting the care of your children to us. And I know you're going to have lots more questions, so please feel free to reach out through email, phone calls, and text messages.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.